Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate.
Can I get on this?
Joe Biden's a pedophile.
I was a Democratic caucus. You have a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lion, dog, fish, pony soldier.
Senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation, you also worked with them to oppose busing.
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true.
If I were serving in the United States Senate 40 years ago, when Joe Biden was serving there, we would have been on opposite sides.
Because Joe Biden's a pedophile.
That was a joke.
Okay. All right.
That's a good one. Like radio. You guys probably are fans. Cuba Gooding Jr., right? We have the Hodge twins in the studio with us. Conservative twins on YouTube, and then Hodge twins on Facebook. How you guys doing?
We are doing amazing.
Yeah. Now you just saw yourself on the monitor?
Yeah.
Okay. Oprah 2.0. She's always watching herself in the monitor, Oprah.
Yeah,
She's always interviewing a guest going, Yes, Tyler Perry, riveting. Quarterback Harris is here. Audio Wade is here. My good morning lawyer Bill Richmond is here. How are you, sir?
I'm so glad to be sitting in Gerald's seat.
Really? Are you?
Yeah.
Rape!
Took it over.
Rape is going to be the topic of discussion
Oh,
today.
wow.
Quite a bit. And I know it's like, I just want to, sometimes you need a laser in.
Yeah.
Because
You got to jump at it. You know, it's like a
it's
surprise
the
attack.
Democratic convention. And I realized, I was sitting there watching it going, wait a second, hold on a second. Joe Biden, by the way, let me be really clear. Allegedly, all of these.
Right.
All of them. Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, and then Michelle Obama, who really praised Harvey Weinstein, like went in hard.
Yeah.
Like this is only possible because of Harvey Weinstein. Michelle Obama, the woman, she went all in on the Harvey Weinstein thing, supporting him. She was basically acting like those people from Smallville in the sex cult who were recruiting.
Yeah.
She's like, everybody,
You hedge a little bit, but no.
the Democratic convention, it's just the casting convention.
The creep show.
It's just one big couch. So the question for you today, I guess question of the day is, it's all alleged. Okay, everything is alleged. Half Asian lawyers looking, he's
Hey, where
frowning.
there's smoke, there's fire.
It's all no. Sometimes it's just electrical.
Yeah, you never know. It's just communications.
Sometimes it's just cake on the oven.
Just a smoke bomb.
Sometimes you just put the oven on self-clean, right?
Yeah.
And it's all allegedly. But since we're opining, who do you think did it? Do you think Bill Clinton? Do you think he's guilty? Do you think that Joe Biden, is he just really an enthusiastic sniffer? Did Michelle Obama, who has the access to the FBI, DOJ, all of the intel throughout the criminal world, had no idea that Harvey Weinstein was stooping every single woman and girl who he was casting? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how she lost it.
Yeah, and it was an open secret, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when Seth MacFarlane is joking about it, Michelle Obama, I had no idea. Aren't you the first lady? Shouldn't you know first?
That's what it means, of course. Yeah.
Also, in other news, no one else agreed with me on this. We're going to be taking your chat, I should say, a little later on. Please do subscribe to Crowder Bits. That's another channel on YouTube, since we don't know if monetization is going to last here a whole long time. And we always talk about the Apple Podcasts and Spotify, but please do consider joining. Ah, shoot.
Oh, no.
I got water all over my mouse pad.
Now I gotta replace
I've
that.
ruined everything. When you drink coffee, does your pee smell like Honey Nut Cheerios? Is that just me? When I drink, there are only two
This
things.
smells
What a
different.
shocking
There are
question.
only two things that make my urine, and it's asparagus. We all know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't get off your high horse in your tower. Asparagus, we all know, but coffee, it does. But it doesn't smell like coffee. It smells like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, I've noticed a difference, but I haven't made the connection to the breakfast cereal.
That's a good point. When sugar smacks coming out. Have you ever noticed that? Yeah, have you ever drunk
Well, hold on a second. Do you
pineapple?
pee together?
You ever drunk pineapple and had your girl come over?
All right, come on now. That's the beginning.
Come on.
Boy.
That's this is live. This is live. Why did you ask him if he noticed your pee smelling? Do you two do everything? Are you like Timmy and Tommy Tibble? You pee together?
No, I thought it was a twin thing because he'd come up to me and say, man, how did that chicken, the way that KFC, that spice, it came out like fire. Yeah, me too, man. It's a twin thing.
Is
so
it
I was
really?
just asking him, yeah.
I think
Everything that
it's a
happens to
people
me
thing.
happens to him.
You have the connection like Elliot and E.T., where
Yeah,
like one of
yeah.
you feels bad, the sunflower dies. Yeah,
It's a classic.
I don't know. They're not
It
into
is a-
sci-fi unless Billy D. Williams is in it. So, conservative twins, Hodge twins. So we'll be talking. And also, by the way, I should let you know, we called Mashable.
This
About the remonetization.
Yeah.
You know, they made some claims that we were selling these shirts that we had never sold in our lives. They made some false claims. So, you know what? We called them to do the journalism thing. And you'll be able to see it. And Mashable, hi. Hope all is well. So you'll be able to enjoy that call a little bit later
Good
on.
morning, man.
Good morning.
But first, we have to get to the DNC, the International Rape Federation meeting.
The IRS.
Allegedly, the International Alleged Rape Federation meeting, which is really weird because it seems like you wouldn't have a federation if it's alleged.
Yeah.
Like, why make it
It
official?
sounds official, yeah.
It almost sounds like you're claiming it.
We call
I
that.
don't know. I wouldn't advise it, but I'm not a political advisor. I'm not a Karl Rove, right? Donna Brazil doesn't have me on speed dial, but don't call it Rapist Federation, allegedly. But this week, and you guys talked about this on YouTube, Cardi B interviewed Joe Biden. So let's start with that.
I, of course, want free Medicare. We need free college education. You know what? If I kill somebody, I gotta go to jail. That's all I want.
I'm so confused with the
Yeah.
WAP thing.
Are you?
No, not confused.
Really?
I know exactly what it is, but it used to be a derogatory term for Italian.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Next thing, am I gonna call my boner a dago?
Was it? Is that?
Guinea.
I thought it was
Yeah.
different. So there was a different
My
vowel.
nipples are guinea.
A different vowel in the middle there.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't care. This is not a serious show. So last night, first off, let's check in with CNN because you guys, you wake up later today. Let's see what they're
Donald
talking about.
Trump's administration.
Oh, they're talking about Donald Trump.
Whoa.
Really?
What?
His
Who knew?
divisiveness,
And why is
that's
Adam
still
Scott a
exists
pundit?
today, 18 months later, after this process
He was the
started,
mayor, I think.
if not
Barack
more
Obama looks
so,
to rally
given
party
the
and young
circumstances
voters
that
in
we're
speech
now,
tonight.
the,
Oh, well,
global
that needs
pandemic,
24-hour coverage. The Democrats are hoping for the youth vote. Oh, well.
The dumb vote. Did you see Biden's face? He's like, oh my God, this is my base now?
So disappointed.
I thought I was a moderate.
No, I think that was just all the blood rushing to his member. So last night, the Democratic National, whatever, I don't need to give them the official because they rape federation. So why do I need to give them the pomp and circumstance? They nominated an alleged sex offender, Joe Biden, while of course providing a marquee time slot to a not alleged, known sex offender apologist, Hillary Clinton.
Donald Trump says we're
Bill
leading the
Clinton.
world. Well, we are the only major industrial
Potato,
economy
potato.
to have its unemployment rate tripled. At a time like this, the Oval Office should be a command center. Instead, it's a storm center. There's
Clinton, you're
only
being a
chaos.
bitch, man.
Just one thing never
There's a global
changes.
pandemic.
His determination to
I actually
deny
like you, Clinton.
responsibility and shift the blame. The buck never
Hey, Clinton, aren't you about to go
stops.
down for
That
pedophilia?
nose just—it's like he went to Fantasy Island. Do we have a picture of Lady Elaine from Mr. Rogers?
We can pull it up.
That's what it looks like. It just keeps going. That nose of Bill Clinton.
He says like the White House is supposed to be a command center. Like when I commanded that lady to, that whole thing. You remember the story.
When I commanded her to blow me.
Drop down to your knees.
I need the youth vote. I understand you have to be very straightforward.
I realized I was doing more of a George W.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was my fault.
Oh my
gotta
God, he
start it.
does look like that.
Doesn't it? Yeah, bring it back up. Look.
Oh.
And you know what? They also hang around children's merry-go-rounds. That's true. And I know, allegedly, bring up the pictures of this guy with Jeffrey Epstein's masseuse. This just dropped yesterday.
Right.
Okay,
And-
Bill Clinton
Oh,
with.
no.
Hey, by the way, she's cute. So,
By the way,
she's cute.
At least
I'm
he's got
saying this
good
because
taste.
what I am saying is there is allegedly no foul play between those two. Okay, I want to be clear. And he was just saying, "Hey, can you crack my neck?"
Yeah, yeah.
But she was sexually abused. Go back there. That is Lady Lane. Go back.
Oh,
Look at
it's
this.
the
Lady
picture,
Lane.
yeah.
We're in the land of make believe. Catch my backer.
I
mean, they have the same cheeks. It's exactly the same.
It's just the rosacea is there.
Disgusting. So he had pictures of this lady who was sexually abused or claims to be sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein. Do we have to say allegedly with Jeffrey Epstein at this point with all that half Asian Bill?
For the dead guy?
You're right. Screw him. Rapist Jeffrey Epstein.
Got it.
Guy who had I guess you would call it a pagan altar sauna. I mean, you see that guy shower? Yeah. The guy had the sex ranch.
Yeah, that's where he relaxes, is that pagan altar. Yeah.
And you know what really bothered me most? He would get mad when the ladies would steal the little shampoos.
Oh,
it's like, you know what? That's your party favor.
That's what it is.
So Bill Clinton claimed, just to be clear, we're talking about Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton. You know, we know about Bill Clinton and Juanita Broaddrick. We know about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. We know about Bill Clinton and a lot of people. Now, Bill Clinton said, as it related to Jeffrey Epstein, that he only flew on the Lolita Express, the rape plane. That's a new Snoop Dogg film. Rape plane.
It's a quality.
The Lolita Express, he said 4 times. Okay, well, the call log showed, and I don't know why it showed 5. 4, and I went like, for this many, hitting my leather helmet. So 4 times, he flew at least 25. We have the call logs, okay? Now, some people say, well, it may not be a big deal. And he also spent time on the rapist island. Here's my question to you. Most Americans, right, if they don't work, if you're not a road warrior, most Americans travel on average like a handful of times per year. Okay? Sure. So the argument that it must have slipped his mind 25 or 27 times, depending on which call log you use. To Americans out there, provided that you don't work on the road, you know, we up in the air need not apply to this. Can you think of any airline in the last few years that you've flown on 26 times?
Yeah, but why would he want to minimize his association with Jeffrey Epstein?
He's just trying to build up those log hours.
He's
trying to get the
that would be like 3 free flights with Delta.
Yeah.
Or think about it, American, Delta, United, Southwest, or like Vince Young on. That's like Vince Young when he bought every single seat on Southwest. He didn't realize he could have flown private. Vince Young scored less than statistical random on the quarterback intelligence test when he got the NFL.
Yeah, he was dumb.
Yeah. He was a great athlete, but boy, no quarterback IQ. So think about it. Honestly, to put it in context, do you think, Bill, you travel quite a bit, half Asian Bill?
Yeah.
Have you flown 26 times on any airline in the last few years? On one airline?
I have, but I have to travel a lot. So
do you use the same airline all the time?
No, you don't use the same airline every single time. So a lot of the times I do fly one airline because of the proximity in that particular region. But you know, when you look at the road warrior, you know, kind of question, even if you're on the road all the time, I mean,
you'd remember it.
Look at it.
You'd have a
punch
card.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's bring this up. You look a little bit like the Alaska Airlines mascot.
Thank you.
That's why I thought you might be flying Alaska Airlines, which, you know, land bridge theory, the Inuit.
Yes.
So
we're all Asian.
let me know when you get the Alaska Airlines, the little stencil there. Do we have it?
You type in Alaska Airlines mascot, and the first thing is just Eskimo.
They try to scrub it, they cannot.
But yeah, like you asked what the answer to a math problem is, but it just says Eskimo.
Eskimo, duh.
Google is racist. I just want to say. All right.
Do we have
We
this?
do have. Yeah, we do.
Okay,
have
let's
the
bring up
mascot.
Alaska Airlines really
Good.
quickly because that's who Bill looks like. We haven't? Yeah. All right, we'll go back to it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll go back to it. So a few weeks ago, speaking of Bill Clinton, the alleged rapist, court documents that were unsealed where this lady, Virginia Griff, however you call it in English, testified Clinton was at Epstein's pedophile island with 2 young girls, something that Clinton always, he's denied, right? But it's like you denied that you were on Lolita Express 26 times. Well, I guess 26 minus 4, 22 times you denied it. That's 22 denials, I guess.
Don't forget the 4 times he admitted it.
Yes, so 22 denials and 4 justice. 4 justices.
Don't forget about Monica.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know. I don't think she made it on the plane. She was a little, you know, you don't need those old spinsters.
Yeah, let's
bringing up the median age there at Pedophile Island. What is this, a nursing home?
Let's take Bill Clinton's word on this one, on the sexual assault.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best.
I mean,
plan.
that's what I'm saying. It's like if you take the word of anyone there at the DNC, it's like a Mexican standoff of rape. It's like, no, I didn't do it. How can you prove it? Well, Bill Clinton avouched for me. He's like, yeah, well, Joe Biden avouched for me, and he's just like, what is the thing? He just got 2 guns aimed at him. He's like, this is what we're doing. I'm like, no, Joe, just okay, aim, good. And his is just a super soaker. It really is. Like, who vouches for you there at the DNC? Hillary Clinton? No. Joe Biden? No. Bill Clinton? No. Michelle Obama, who was effectively recruiting for Harvey Weinstein, if you look at the speeches that she gave? No. I don't know anything about, I don't know about Gretchen Whitmer, but, you know, I'm pretty sure. Just gotta.
Man, I wonder what went down on that island, man. If he's getting sucked off in the Oval Office, could you imagine the stuff he was doing down there?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, he's in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
The intern.
Yeah. And he had to go further.
What do you think he's doing it when it's a lady who's salaried?
Yeah.
Like she was paid to organize his envelopes. Those people were paid to do whatever Bill Clinton wants in the pagan shower sauna. That's a good point. God knows what he was doing. I mean, I can guess.
I mean,
I wonder what he sounds like.
No, let's not wonder what he's.
God!
Oh boy! All right, yeah. Well, you know what? That was broad enough that it was just slightly revolting.
It was a massage.
Do we have the Alaska Airlines mascot?
Do.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me this. Come on, that's like fast forward 30 years, Bill Richmond.
That is the most racist thing I ever seen.
With the shading, I think. Yeah.
Hey, that's my uncle. Y'all better back up.
An Eskimo with an afro.
I know that's always what it looks like. It's because they're creating the shading, and I don't know why they did that.
That's a nice afro,
It just looks
though.
groovy, man.
Yeah, looks like an Eskimo at a 70s roller skate.
That's it. I'm growing an afro. The look works.
Okay. By the way, hit the notification bell if you haven't yet, because subscriptions don't mean a whole lot. You guys know that now, right? Like subscriptions don't really go in people's subscription boxes. So you got to hit the notification bell. We have this show every weekday morning here at 10 Eastern. I always want to say 9 because we're in Central.
Yeah.
And tomorrow evening, we are closing out the DNC with 80s theme night. So tune in. We're going to have a hashtag. We're going to have a party. We're going to have drinking games. And we're going to be fact-checking Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and whoever else. I don't think we have anything prepped for Tammy Ducksworth, but
Whoever they roll
it'll be
out on
fun.
the stage, you know.
Yeah. We'll probably just cut to the truth according to Smooth Nanny at that point.
Yeah,
we have
there
some
we
other
go.
stuff because who gives
It'll be
gives a rat's ass about Tammy Duckworth? I'm a senator. Okay. So, here's another thing. They defended Bill Clinton's inclusion, right, at the convention. And this was something that I saw on CNN, which I just thought was so telling. They basically ended up cutting the interview short, where someone was making a very valid point, kind of the point that half the country would be thinking. Yeah. And I said, well, you know what? I mean, I just think if you're saying, hey, character matters, look how terrible Donald Trump is, and then you're introducing Bill Clinton, like that's a part of his open, that's a problem. And they believe that the Bill Clinton issue has been settled. Just like this is what they do a lot, right? Science on it's settled. Well, what about the data on black? It's settled. What about the Bill Clinton? It's settled. What about the pictures that came out today? Nothingness.
Yeah.
Wait, why isn't the Bill Clinton thing settled? I thought we all agreed that he did it.
That's a good point.
And that's also just code for shut up.
Yes, it's code for I don't like what you're saying, young man. You keep that up, you won't be in a fourth quadrant for us anytime soon next to Adam Scott. This is CNN. We take our business very seriously. Stelter, back to you, rubbing balls. So, let's go to, allegedly, let's go to this clip from CNN so you can see how they have to handle Bill Clinton when it arises live.
So you're going to say that in one breath and then say, character matters. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Clinton. I mean, does this make sense to anyone? If you want Republicans to vote for Joe Biden, have Bill Clinton talk about not having drama in the Oval Office? Is that the right answer?
This morning.
Okay, this has already been asked and answered decades ago.
No.
person.
Decades ago.
Decades ago, yeah. By the way, not everyone talks in Michigan that way. Just the asshole governors. I don't know what it is. Like you walk around Michigan, they have a little bit. You know, they might say roof instead of roof, but then you have a governor, Whitmer, and her was a former Michigan governor. And like, well, you know, back in Michigan, that's a matter of fact. What are you getting dialect lessons from Michael Moore?
Playing to that rural base, right?
Yeah. Who, by the way, I'm not convinced is not in transition right now, Michael Moore. Have you seen him?
Oh my God, he looks like Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, don't insult Rosie O'Donnell.
He looks like Walter White on testosterone blockers.
Jesus Christ.
So they say it's settled decades ago. Well, it really wasn't settled decades ago. Now we have new pictures, and I would think it's relevant, considering that if you watch the Epstein Files on Netflix, right, they show that picture with Donald Trump like 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah. Donald Trump didn't travel on Elite Express. He's not in the call log. Donald Trump did host Jeffrey Epstein in Mar-a-Lago, and then kicked him out because he thought he was creepy. Yeah. Very quickly.
Good reason.
It's a pretty good reason. In other words, the story, rather than just a picture of Donald Trump at a party, right? I'm sure you could find a picture of Donald Trump at a party with all kinds of unsavory characters. You know, probably you have Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton, Lena Dunham. They all show up at these Met Galas. The point is that's not the same as traveling on his plane and going to his sex island repeatedly and denying it. Donald Trump booted Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. He's like, that guy, there's something I don't like, namely that he does kids. That's what I think Donald Trump said.
Not a good guy.
And how does Bill Clinton not get Me Too'd when Aziz Ansari has a bad date? I don't like his politics at all. That's a bad date when you look at it. How does he not get Me Too'd when, at the very least, what we know, what he denied under oath and then admitted to, abusing his power as the president of the United States on an intern, even if she was willing, right? This idea, regretful P&V is what's taught is rape. Well, what about the president of the United States exerting his power over you to get a BJ underneath the White House desk?
Yeah, and that's just what we know about all this other.
We also know he just dropped his pants and walked up. I mean, you can search Jennifer Flowers, you can search Juanita Broderick. We know that he made uncomfortable advances, and we know that he had extramarital affairs with people who worked for him, and we know that he denied it under oath. We know all those things. We just don't know. What the bedpost notches would read in regards to pedophile.
You think he'd be target number 1 for Me Too? It's strange that he's not just.
You think he would?
That'd be number 1.
I don't know. People
Prime
probably
example.
They give him a wide berth because of that bayonet on his nose.
Hey, he's got a black kid too.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, he's got a black kid.
Bill Clinton?
Yeah, he did
Look just like him, but he's light skinned.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, well, that's all allegedly. No,
it's alleged, huh?
Yeah.
You can switch it up and just say purported.
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 Yeah.
The purported child.
Well, it's been reported he's got a black son.
Others have said.
Yeah.
I hear people say. Yeah.
And here's the thing else, when people do, they say it's settled. Well, Bill Clinton has refused to apologize for anything. I think we have this link up here from CN, is it NBC, CNBC, MSNBC? So many NBCs, and all of them are useless.
Well, can I fact check you real quick?
Yeah.
Bill Clinton has apologized for that, but he did apologize for the racist policies that he put into place that set back black communities for decades that he put into place when he was president. He did. Just a couple years ago, he came out and he admitted that he screwed over the black community for decades because of the policies he put into place.
You know what? That makes me respect him less.
But I thought he was the first black president.
At least just double down. It's like if you're a racist, Bill Clinton, by God, be the best racist you can be.
Stick to your guns.
He also apologized, I remember, because he used to really like fast food and then he became a vegan.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know he was
really?
a vegan.
That's what weighs on you at night?
I wondered why he was willowing away.
Yeah. No wonder he looks horrible.
That's what weighs on you? It's like, not the sexual assault, not the abuse of power, not the alleged purported rape, but Burger King.
You gotta cut down my cholesterol.
Whopper Junior. She's going, how could I? You know how sometimes
One too
at
many
night
orders
you wince?
of chicken fries.
Yeah, one too orders.
You wince.
You know, you wince. Like, you're like, oh, I said what? And I do this a lot. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that. I'm going to sleep and my wife goes, what's wrong? Because I realize that I go like this. Audibly. And Bill Clinton's doing that with a Junior Bacon cheeseburger,
right.
Not the rape victims.
Maybe it's just a code name.
You know what? Different strokes.
Chicken fries.
Bill
They wanted it.
Yeah, some people count sheep.
She wanted
but not Bill Clinton.
When I'm worried, I can't sleep. I count my rape victims instead of sheep. And you'll fall asleep hearing their scream. So,
They wanted it.
White Christmas, hey.
What has my life become? There'll be a lot of tonight. I'll be haunted by the ghost of Bing Crosby. Just show up with his golf swing. Hey, Steven, what the All right. So we obviously see the coverage, but it does bother me when you just see people who just say, oh, the media's biased. So this is a new segment we're going to be introducing. I wanted to actually go to another story where you see the difference in coverage, not just Bill Clinton and the rapist convention known as the DNC, but something just recently happened with a man being beaten within an inch of his life. Was this in? I keep losing track. Was it Portland?
Yeah. What was the location?
Portland. We'll get to in a second, but we're going to compare it with another story that everybody remembers in a new segment we call Then and Now. All right. So
that's my local band, by the way.
Is it a local band?
I'll check them out.
Seems like a local cover band. Seems like the kind of band that would show up and do their covers, and then Megadeth would say, "You can't use your skeleton guy." That's copyrighted.
No, that's Iron Maiden.
Oh, Iron Maiden. That's right, Iron Maiden. What's the name of the skeleton guy in Iron Maiden?
I don't know, Skeletor.
Something like that.
Skeletor.
I don't know. I'm
not
not saying I don't like Iron Maiden to people out there because I know they have that. You know, I'm just saying if your music requires a gimmick, same thing with Grateful Dead. They do the same skeleton little guy. Want Mr. Saturday Night? Okay, what's a Grateful Dead song?
Uncle Tom's Band.
Nah.
Uncle Tom's band.
Uncle John's
feel
band.
about that?
Uncle John's band. It's my fault.
Oh.
It's
Was it? I was
Freudian
going to say. I was like, yeah,
It was
Uncle John's
band.
band. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. He really
got the
set
Hodge twins in
He
studio.
set the vibe here.
dare
The
you.
whitest guy in the room, just dropping N-bombs.
Wow. Wow.
That's me.
By the way, I want to continue this with then and now, but I was just talking about this. You know, Joe Louis, which by the way is really surprising because you guys used to be afraid of dogs and you were petting Joe Louis. The correction word for Joe Louis is no, right? So like, if you hear if I say, hey, I'm going to take him for a walk, I have to say W because he recognizes the word. And when he does something you don't like, you say no, so you correct him. But I realized that the uninitiated, people who hear me and my wife talking to the dog, will say, hey, no, if he doesn't listen, say the N-word. So someone here say the N-word to the dog named Joe Louis.
Oh, boy.
In context, my favorite boxer ever, and he came to us with some scar tissue, looked a little bit like Joe Louis. I said, you know, that's a good name for a dog, Joe Louis, and we're saying N-word meaning no, but that is something that definitely could be, you know, a cancelable offense. We know it's not rape.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that was a callback.
That was.
You guys need you guys need more Black Rifle coffee. By the way, blackriflecoffee.com/Crowder. Enter in your promo code Crowder. I think you get 20% off. That's true. And they are really doing well right now. It's $2.50. Black Rifle, get it. We're waiting on some of this. This is a prop coffee.
Yeah, man.
This is prop. This has been around here. I don't even know how.
I filled that full of beans.
Join the coffee club.
Listen to that. It's telling me it needs a friend. Send it. So.
Damn,
you remember Sandman, the Covington kids, who, by the way, I think just got $80 million from CNN? Was that reported? Something like that?
Someone had reported that. It's
It's
supposed to be confidential, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
They have sources.
Was it just the one kid, or did all the kids get that split up?
Oh, I know. If that's the case, that's gonna be like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Just they're gonna be fighting each other like
Throw down those
crazy.
hats and go at it.
He's the highest paid journalist at CNN. It didn't have to write not one article.
Watch. Next thing you know, Brian Stelter's gonna try and sleep with him for a primetime slot.
That's so cute.
So let's remember what the media reaction was immediately following the Covington kid. This matters.
At least some of the students were from Covington Catholic High School in Kentucky. The Catholic Diocese of Covington, which oversees the school, said
You guys get a real kick out of it.
we condemn the
That poor
attitude of
kid.
Covington Catholic school students towards Nathan Phillips, specifically, and Native Americans in general. We extend our deepest apologies to Mr. Phillips. This behavior is opposed to the church's teachings on the dignity and
Mr.
respect
Phillips is
of
an
the human
alcoholic that
race.
doesn't ask.
The diocese also said the matter is under investigation
Phillips.
and that some students could be expelled.
I don't even understand anymore.
Dignity and respect. It's tough to have dignity and respect for a guy who's a serial liar and has no gum line.
Yeah, he's losing all his teeth. What do you expect him to do?
It's been, 2 years? I still don't understand how this story just took off.
Baffling.
It was a white kid who smiled.
Ah, yes.
It was a white kid
$20
who
million
smiled.
smile.
His greatest sin was having a punchable face. Let's give the left that. He had a little bit of a face where you see.
Gotta give it to him.
You just want to go,
Child.
you know, yeah, I'm just saying, but I'm saying, like, I have that face. I get it, but I have a face that has a lot of punch appeal, right? You just want to,
Yeah.
paint a target.
Yeah,
Right? I get it.
that kid got all that chin action. It's all, man, I just want to punch that kid in the face.
All right, well, that could be taken out of context. We congratulate your win, Nick Sandman. Ha, good for you.
I like
And by
Nick.
the way, hashtag not all black people, okay? They're not all
Not
black.
even these guys.
They don't all want to punch you in the face. What's wrong with you?
I love him. Hey, Nick Salmon.
I love him.
Nick Salmon, big fan here, buddy. Big fan. Your life matters,
It's a
Nick.
punch with love.
All lives matter.
Right. Let's compare that to what happened. Was this yesterday or 2 days ago?
Several days ago.
I think it was 2 days ago now, where Black Lives Matter, they tried to rob someone in Portland. Then a man and his partner, they defended the victim. I want to make sure I get this right so that people don't get upset with me. Then Black Lives Matter chased them. They got into their truck. The mob tried to chase them down to their truck, and then the driver crashed the truck. And then there was a Black Lives Matter activist. And this is why, by the way, I think a lot of conservatives are cowardly out there where they say Antifa. Like, listen, that's why we switched the sign from Antifa to Black Lives Matter, because they're one and the same as far as tactics, but people are afraid of calling out Black Lives Matter for fear of being called racist. I'm not saying black people. Black Lives Matter, the organization, and people who subscribe to that philosophy, that worldview, I believe that they are part of or supporting a domestic terror organization by definition because of the violence that is often encouraged and used, and at the very least, not actively condemned in these cities across the country. Sometimes, but not at the heads of the organization. And that is the problem that I have. So let's compare that to a Black Lives Matter activist. I'm warning you, this is graphic, okay? So not a trigger warning, an actual warning if you have kids around. This is what happened in Portland this week.
Oh. Dude, fuck Black Lives Matter.
By the way, the irony in calling him the N-word and then calling him a racist.
Don't get any dumber than that.
Get him out of the street! Get him out of the street!
So, again, now to be clear, white kids smiling Covington was covered from stem to stern everywhere. Right? That's all you saw. Everyone remembers that, and they were totally wrong. They have egg on their face, and so, of course, they never really issued the full correction retraction, except, well, I guess you could consider 80 million one hell of an addendum. No one covered it yesterday. We've been trying to search, so we'll show you some overlays from when we were searching for this yesterday. Washington Post did run a headline, man seriously injured in attack after crashing his truck during Black Lives Matter protest in Portland.
Well, seems a little vague.
It seems a little bit vague. How about the man was beaten within an inch of his life? When you consider that Mashable made up stories, or The Verge, regarding us that didn't even... Basically, stories with quotes that we never made and stories that never even actually happened from places that we've never been. You would think that they could get this right. Like, how about including a quote where he said, yeah, take it, racist, and then immediately called him the N-word. That's a quote that I think would interest people. Because they'd be going, wait, what is it? So he kicked the guy who said the N-word? No, it's like he said he was the reason, but he said the N-word. I'm so confused. Did Bill Clinton rape anybody? Is this in the... I don't know how to read a newspaper.
It's been settled, Stephen. He did.
It's been settled.
Settled.
This has been answered minutes ago.
and the way the headline reads, it's not really clear if he was one of the demonstrators or if the demonstrators were the ones who were committing the violent acts.
Yeah, of course.
And it's not clear in the headline, of course.
No, of course it's not clear.
He's wearing a shirt with security on it too, right?
I don't know. This is that shirt. Is that what he has? Oh, I think it was a Transformer shirt.
Yeah.
He knows. He's a nerd.
I know.
We love him for it.
I accept it.
We do.
Yeah. If nature's kind, the black community will accept him like one of their own.
Maybe one day. One day.
So let's go back to then with the Sandman story, the Covington kids. When the truth did come out with the full footage, and again, this is important because what matters is not only when they get a story wrong, but what do they do to correct it. And we'll be showing that call to Mashable we made yesterday in a little bit, so I hope you enjoy that.
Love that.
Instead of admitting they were wrong, they tried to turn it into a whole he said, she said, right? It was nothing more than conjecture. And they were airing after this more interviews with noted ambassador for methamphetamine, Nathan Phillips.
So, not forgiven.
Directly that he didn't think he owed an apology, but he does wish that he had walked away. Is that enough for you, or do you think he should have apologized?
Well, if there's an apology, there would be an apology for his own behavior to a lot of other people beside me. I'd be like way down on the list of his people he needs to apologize to.
You could just end the phrase that I'd be way down the list, and we could apply it to anything, Nathan.
Stop, yeah.
Way down the list of people to apologize to, people whose picture would be up for dental records, people to watch your children.
Yeah.
Way down.
Short of being a mule through an airport, you'd be right at the top. Everywhere else, you're at least bottom, 94th percentile.
And even mule, they'd probably pass him up because he kind of looks like a mule.
Yeah, that's true. Right away.
He does look like Donkey on
Security
Shrek. Yeah. Look just like what's that? Shrek the donkey.
Yeah.
There we go.
You guys can say it. And here's just to be clear, for people who haven't followed up on the story, those kids did nothing. It was black Hebrew Israelites who were accosting them, who basically say that white people cannot go to hell. Cannot go to heaven. All white people are going to hell. I had to deal with these people when I was in Michigan, by the way. And then the kids stayed. And then Nathan Phillips came up, living off the land while he made sure that someone taped with his iPhone.
Do you have it in portrait mode? No galaxies. It doesn't have the 12 megapixel camera. The white man makes me live like this.
Actually accurate.
Today's show, here I come.
You Levi's wearing fake First Nations prick. So, Washington Post, after they knew all this, they went with a story, well, it's more complicated. That was their headline. More complicated than we initially thought, which really means, like, we screwed up. You trusted us. USA Today, Covington Catholic videos show life is complicated, but we still saw what we saw.
What?
No.
What
You
the
didn't
hell?
see anything. Isn't that like, but did you see what led up to it? Did you see that they were basically saying all white people go to hell when you look at Black Hebrew Israelites and you look into their theology, much like Black Lives Matter, the organization? This is a black supremacist organization. It's entirely predicated on the idea that Jesus was black, therefore white people is the devil.
The tables have turned.
Still a leap.
Yeah, which is still kind of a leap.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anyone who cares about Jesus' race more than Black Hebrew Israelites.
I mean, it's predicated.
It's like, I don't think white people care. Like, people are like, well, you think Jesus was white with blue eyes? Like, nah, that was a thing that the church did because it looked good on stained glass. We know he probably looked like a terrorist. That's what Jesus most likely looked like.
Yeah, he looks like Saddam Hussein, man.
Yeah.
More
I'm just
like-
saying, if Jesus were alive today yelling at a fig tree, I'd probably pat him down.
Make him take his shoes off.
Like,
Jesus, check him.
Yeah. That's
And
a
that
part
says
of,
more about you.
That
than
says
it really
more about
is.
me, and that's the wonder of Christ.
It is.
Yes.
He's holding up a mirror to my soul. Like, oh,
He's
the
so
Messiah? I didn't know. It's like we're a hijacker. But that's the whole thing, is that you are nondescript visually. That's what the Bible says. Like, you wouldn't have noticed him. He didn't have an incredible presence.
Yeah.
But the Black Hebrew Israelites are like, no, that's some bullshit. He was black. End of story. White people cannot go to heaven. It says so in Revelation. I think it's about a white horse. I can't read.
I love your black man voice.
I had that when I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. There's a sign right there. People know it was on the corner of a place called Hopcat. And these Black Hebrew Israelites were always out there.
Yeah.
And they have this sign, and it has a picture of just, you know, it kind of looks like the Alaska Airlines thing, because it looks like an afro. They have a sign that, you know, it looks like a black gentleman with a, at this point, it was kind of not quite house party, not quite afro, but it was a little higher on the top than the signs. I don't know what you call that.
Are you
Like the
describing
microphone
Marge
look.
Simpson? Wasn't it
No, I'm
The
describing.
George Jefferson look.
I'm describing Christ. So it says,
Our Lord and
it
Savior.
says in the sign, it says Jesus. Like with an arrow pointing. Like at the turnoff.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, like, they go, hey, have you made peace with your Lord? And have you made peace? Do you know what's going to happen if you die today? That's what they said to me and my wife.
Why would they care?
And I was like,
They know.
oh, okay. I said, well, I don't know, you're a Christian? They go, yes, sir. I said, okay. Actually, they didn't say sir. They probably said, like, yes, bitch. They were not very respectful.
Yes, Edomite.
And I can't remember, this isn't all word for word, but I said, well, yeah, you know, listen, as a Christian, I've personally accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I believe he is who he said he is. He's God in the flesh, and that the only way to heaven is through him. They go, no! No!
Then maybe
Are you aware that the only true God's people are Black Hebrew Israelites? And they were going, and I was like, okay, sure, yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't know what all of them looked like.
You know
Who
what?
knows?
If that's the case, I don't want to go to heaven. I want to go to hell with you white people. It's safer there. I take my chances with you white supremacists. I ain't going with them. Imagine dying and going to heaven and you see the black Israelites there? I was like, hell no, I'm going to hell. I'm a coon. I'm going to white people.
Well, effectively, at the end of the day, they basically told me, you can't go to heaven. They were like, I was at a house. They go, and you white people are so obsessed with the color of Jesus' skin. Do you think Jesus was a white man? And I said, you know what? I don't care. Let's say he looks like your roller rink guy there on your poster. I'm fine. I can still follow Jesus, right? They go, no!
Well, then why did you waste my time?
I go, wait, hold on a second. How do I get to heaven? They're like, well, that's for you to find out. Why don't you tell me? They're like, and I was like, let me ask you this. I finally, in your opinion, is there any way for me to get to heaven? And they're like, that's up in the air. And I'm like, okay, all right. You know what? I'm pretty sure that you aren't reading the same book.
I like how they're lawyering it, right? They're like keeping their options open. Like, well, this didn't go the way we thought it was going to go because he seems very accepting about a Jesus that doesn't look like a white guy. And now,
Did it look anything like this right here, the Black Jesus?
Yeah.
That's the
Oh, man.
kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah.
We found it on our website.
Now, that guy looks pretty cool. That guy
He
looks
does
like
look pretty cool.
Well, at least they didn't make
Just a
you.
colored on a bus. What?
At least they didn't make you kiss their feet.
Oh.
I don't know.
Did you see those videos?
No.
They made us,
White
yeah.
people,
White
like
people,
get down, kiss their feet.
It's funny too. Whenever you see them reading verses out of the Bible and then they interpret what it means, I'm like, that's totally not what it means.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Now kiss my feet. Get down there, you evil white man.
I don't know what to do. Are you Mary Magdalene or not? I guess not.
What do we do?
Go to hell! You already told me I'm going there, so I don't know.
Edomite.
I tell you, white people, you evil, but you tricky.
It's like a terrible choose-your-own-adventure. Like, wait a minute, now what?
It's like one of those Goosebumps choose your own path. Only it ends with racism, no matter what.
Every time.
And why can't we? These are black supremacists, black Hebrew Israelites. That is a black supremacy group.
Yeah.
Same thing with Black Lives Matter. When Nick Cannon says that white people have no soul or don't have soul, meaning the ability, I guess, to sing, dance, I don't know, because of melanin, that is actual racism.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear, I don't think that Joe Biden is a racist. I don't think that Donald Trump is a racist, because people on the right, they're trying to say Joe Biden is a racist. They're trying to paint both sides. Listen, I don't think that any of them actually harbor ill will toward black people. I don't think that they believe that they are inferior. I think that Joe Biden, the DNC, panders a whole lot more. But there are actual racists out there. Of course, for the few remaining, you can count on one hand, Klans members, and Spike Lee will make a film about them? Yes, actual racists. And so are people who say that Jesus was black exclusively and white people have no path to heaven. That is racism, but call me old-fashioned. So, back to Black Lives Matter Portland, they ID'd the suspect, okay? Marquise Love was the name. Sounds like a reality show host. Find a shot at love. Only kicks you in the head.
Yeah.
Like, I was just looking
That's
for
the
a
shot.
date. I thought it was Curb Stomp show on VH1. So
Curb Stomp of Love.
Curb Stomp of Love.
That's the follow-up show.
He's still on the loose. This is why this matters. When we're talking about the job of reporters, right? Seeing they're like, well, we take journalism very seriously. Brian Stelter, and we get it. You want to bitch about Trump. I understand you don't like him and you have your pennies in a bunch. Right now, the guy who just beat someone within an inch of their life, and you know his motivation, right? You know the motivation. Black Lives Matter, the domestic terrorist organization. There's no guesswork here as to why he did it. You're saying, you racist, calling him the N-word. I can't say it, but you guys can say it. That's the rules. You can say it if it's a white guy who's bleeding out, I guess. I don't understand the rules here, and I don't understand why the media doesn't feel that it's their responsibility. We used to have America's Most Wanted. Get John Walsh's white ass on it, for crying out loud. The whole point is, if the media cannot be used to protect more innocent lives from being harmed by a violent criminal on the loose right now, what purpose do you serve? Right? The whole point is the news that's fit to print, the news that people should know, the news that can impact people's lives. Well, this is someone who beat the crap out of somebody who's in the ICU, as far as we know right now, has been ID'd, not by you, of course, in the media, and you could protect other American lives, black and white alike. Why doesn't that fall under the responsibility, under the purview of the media's responsibility?
Yeah, if he was white, it'd be a man. I mean, it'd be all over the news. If he was black, yeah.
Well, if he was white and he was kicking a black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't care.
They just honestly don't care. I think we have it here, CNN, MSNBC, if we brought that up, because we ran some searches to try and... You don't see it. You don't find this being written about, and you certainly don't find it being written about accurately. There you go. We searched MSNBC and we searched CNN, and it wasn't there. There's apparently some lady, Marilyn Manson, with some kind of a turquoise
Italian
ring.
jewelry.
I have no idea.
Jewelry.
Apparently, it's more important than finding out, oh my gosh, there's someone on the loose in my town who's kicking people's asses in the street, telling us that
Italian jewelry, though, you say.
Oh, wait, fat Oprah crying on a treadmill. Let me click this. Stars who are dead. Wait, hold on a second. Corey Feldman's still alive. You got me with your slideshow. So,
the media.
Do
They're
your job.
older.
The
Look at
media. The legitimate media. Or as YouTube calls them, authoritative sources.
Exactly. And as Mashable calls them.
Authoritative sources. Okay, so that leads us into the next segment here. It is going to be time to tell YouTube. We are really quickly going to go to the Mashable call that we made yesterday, because there's a lot of referencing authoritative sources that also reference authoritative sources, and there's no actual original source. But for right now, piss off YouTube.
Look at that simp. PewDiePie here, master public speaker. But it wasn't always like this. Oh no, I work my way there by doing a bunch of public appearances. So I thought today, why don't we just watch them? See how I improved or gotten worse. Who knows? I've done a lot more public
Oh, it's so nice. I can load a ball and fucking cough and not have some jackass make the same joke. Oh, it's COVID. Oh, COVID, second wave. It's COVID.
1 and 2 and 4, I think, are free. At least 1 and 2 I know is run by the state. That's like our version of BBC. It looks so awkward to film yourself. Thank you. I'm glad people feel like that.
Backseat gaming,
Apparently not many people have found this video. Keep it that way. Oh god. So this is my very first appearance, and I was so excited about it. It was like feeling like you finally got recognized, because I thought I was doing something really unique for Sweden at the time, at least.
Bara spela datorspel hela dagen.
Oh god. He's just playing video games all the time. Why is there a duck behind you, huh? What do you do all day? Huh? What's wrong with playing video games? Why are you guys saying like that? Who are you, Joe Rogan?
So let's go back to... what was it? There we go.
See, you can swear on Swedish television. That's great.
We play television.
We don't care. Oh, it doesn't even say me on the door because I was renting that flat second hand. That's how poor I was. I couldn't rent it directly or find one. Just had to rent from someone else.
Välkomna.
I mean, that's how poor I was. I was still renting, so clearly I had money.
Du bara kom in. Har vi en ing som bor här?
That's my family dog. That's not even my dog. And I was like, she lives here. That's a lie.
Så det är här vi har köket, helt enkelt.
And this is the kitchen. Why do they make me do this? Fucking producers, they want to make stuff. Oh, that's Köttogryta right there, by the way. I always talk about it. There we go, Köttogryta. Producers always, they're the fault. You're the fault. You're the problem. Because they're like, all right, so like, can we get a shot of you like walking in here and showing your kitchen? Why? Why? If this happened to me now, I'd be like, no. That's so weird.
Och det är här som min arbetsplats.
And that was my desk. Do you see? You can barely fit a keyboard on this desk, and it's in the living room. That was my lightning. Oh my god. Whoa. See, I could barely fit the microphone on the desk. I remember it would keep falling down. Chad. She's saying that old people, basically, boomers, thinks PewDiePie has the weirdest job. Oh my god. Do you see how cluttered my desktop is? Oh, that's disgusting. Well, I'm glad I... See how many tabs I have open, bro? Cringe, bro. Look at this. Clean. Clean. Sheesh. Cringe, Felix. Damn, that takes me back so much. I don't know what software I'm using. I've used that for years. For years. That's so weird. I haven't seen it in so long. I think that's the built-in one. Oh my god, in Windows. This takes me back 80 hours played Amnesia. Based.
Oh no. Back up.
Back up. It's so awkward when they're like, oh, okay, so now like film your videos. And like, we'll just be, Maya, who decided? It's so awkward when they're always come in and they're like, all right, yeah, now like do your thing. And we're just right behind you, hovering above you. It's like when you're trying to type something on a computer and someone comes up behind you and like, what are you writing? And I'm like, stop staring, bitch. I can't type if you're looking at me. It doesn't work like that. Stop hovering. And this was already a weird thing at the time. Like no one did Let's Plays or shit like that. So.
Vad är det som tittar på dina klipp då?
Just nu har jag väl 30 miljoner i månaden.
That's another thing that media people do. They want to get another thing of you. So they ask you a question, right? She asked me, how many people watch your videos? And I go, 30 million a month.
Just nu har jag väl 30 miljoner i månaden.
And I'm like, all right, right now I have 30 million a month. So they don't respond to you. They just don't say anything because they want you to say something else because we naturally fill the gap. So she's purposely not saying anything so she can make it awkward for me. I hate that. See that? Damn. Stupid me. media people and their stupid media training.
Alright, so I thought we would go to Svensson and see what they are doing over here.
Vad tror du det här kommer ta? Look at this giant camera they have behind me. This is so weird.
Jag vill ju fortsätta på något sätt och liksom hålla mig aktiv för mina fans och liksom...
I want to continue somehow to be active for my fans.
Göra det jag gör. Jag tror att jag kommer jobba med andra projekt i framtiden.
But I think I'll do other projects in the future. I guess I did.
Kanske lite större till och med.
Maybe even bigger. Hey, well, I definitely got bigger. This is crazy. I forgot about this.
Jag vet inte, jag spelar ju mycket skräckspel och många av dem är ganska inte så stor grad så det här var kul att vara med och utveckla det själv kanske.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to make my own horror video game, but I never did. I wanted to make video games. Hey, we made PewDiePie Pixeling still relevant. Download it, goddammit. I'm not really that interested in the horror genre anymore, but yeah, I did have a lot of ideas for horror games. And I always thought the horror genre, after Amnesia, it got a bit tired. You know, Amnesia did it so well that it spawned a ton of clones, which was really fun for a while, but after a while it sort of killed the horror genre a bit, I think, because people weren't innovating enough. And I always thought that was so weird, because horror is such a genre where you can be really creative with. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Fuck it, I can do it, I have money.
Reklammarknaden vänds mer och mer mot internet på gammelmedias bekostnad.
Ooh, nice one. They're basically explaining how more money is going into the internet out of the pocket of old media. And this was back in 2012, so truth bombs.
How's it going, bro? My name is Peter.
Han är en talang och kan prata jättebra engelska så det kan spridas brett.
This guy was really nice. He was like, he's a talent and he speaks well English, so a lot of people can watch it. And I mean,
jag tror egentligen är...
Dad, I love you. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Can you pick me up? I can't move.
No. Why is this making me emotional? I don't know. Don't know. So much has changed, so much gone through.
Bloggare kan ju alltid vara aggregatorer. De samlar innehåll.
I'm not sure what he's saying, but it sounds smart. Then they brought up some blogger, and then they showed me these posters.
Vad är det här för någonting då?
Det är posters som jag signerar till mina fans helt enkelt.
So I did these posters where I told people, hey, you can write whatever you want on this, and I'll write it for you. Bad idea.
Okej, men det är från alla möjliga håll och kanter.
Det är från alla möjliga håll och kanter. USA.
Living room filled with posters.
Alltså jag tror att människor har blivit ett dyft mer självupptagna.
So he's saying that with social media, we're not more self-observed now. It's just that more people are watching.
Och får spela ut sig. Och den stora grejen är inte det här för att man blandar ihop media och innehåll.
He's saying, oh, he's just playing video games and talking over it. That's crazy. And then he says, but that's not what he does.
Stand-up.
But he's making stand-up in a way.
This is a total lame PewDiePie party, but okay, I'll roll with it. Hey, how you doing? You come here often?
Du kommer aldrig komma ihåg att jag sitter framför datorn hela livet.
I forgot about this. So I'm basically saying, you know how people always told you, you'll never get anywhere by sitting in front of the computer your entire life. And here I was like, but yeah, I made it. But I proved them wrong.
Alright, so that was pretty much...
Bro. So proud. We made it, bros. We made it. Hell, didn't expect to be so hard-hitting the first time. There's too much. I could make 3-part series out of this. This was another crazy one I did. It was in 2012, and it was in Bilbao. Bilbao was a really cool city. I've never been there. It's in Spain. I was speaking in front of an audience who I don't think they spoke English that well, and I also don't think they really understood what I did. It was not a good speech. Can you even hear me? What happens in the future? YouTube is revolutionary. It's something stable. You knew if YouTube had potential. But something stable is funny. I think YouTube been pretty good at staying stable, but you know, other social media platforms, especially seeing TikTok now getting banned or whatever, you never know what's going to happen with these new media. So it always felt like a big gamble to
put all your cards into this YouTube thing. It obviously was, but it paid off. Am I a trend? I guess I wasn't. And I talked about wanting to make a game as well. Look at me going on stage, dying of nervousness. Wait, what is this? This is the red carpet of Ender's Game. So basically what they do on these, I didn't know this, they have a guy that goes before you and tells all the paparazzis, like, this is PewDiePie, he's important because of this and this reason, take photos of him now. But the paparazzis have no chill, because like, if you're not important, they don't bother like sympathy photos or some shit. Because they told, hey, can we do without Marzian? It's like, why did I let that happen? Big mistake. Should not have let her go. But I think Marcia didn't want to be in the spotlight anyway, so I think it was okay, but still. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we're together. Beautiful. She's beautiful. How can you not want to take a photo of her? Alright, this is another Swedish one a year later. Is this fun? I can't tell. I like it. It's fun for me. So shut up.
Du är nog relativt okänd för en ganska stor målgrupp.
Ja, det stämmer nu. It's funny because I still feel like that. All the parents come up, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I'm like, it's okay, I don't care. I'm so sorry, I don't know. What, you don't subscribe? Well, subscribe then.
Kan du berätta lite, vad är det du pysslar med?
Jag gör videoklipp på
YouTube där jag spelar dataspel och försöker underhålla. Förklara nu för min farmor som är 80 år.
Well, I just did explain it.
Du lägger ut korta klipp på nätet där du spelar spel, kan man säga.
What you do is you upload short videos. Oh no, we gotta get that watch time. They're long videos.
Jätteförenklat och så kommenterar du det på ett roligt sätt.
So lame. Finally, we know what his thoughts sound like. He sounds softer in Swedish. Yeah, Swedish is kind of a soft language, isn't it?
Vad sa du? Vad sa du till mig, svenskens svarig?
He sounds like a villager.
Det är liksom... Där du spelar spel, kan man säga, jätteförenklat och så kommenterar du det på ett roligt sätt helt enkelt.
Me hearing PewDiePie speak Swedish, it's so familiar, yet unrecognizable. Whoa, what the fuck is this? 7 years ago. Whoa. Hey, green dress, stop putting your hand in his face. Wait, what? Worst interviewer ever. Oh god, what is this?
Have you picked up anything that you like in the architecture when you look at it?
Oh, I guess that side where the garden is. That's really cool. I don't know what it is though. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
It's a garden.
It's only a garden. Okay.
It's a garden or a golf
figured it was a garden, but yeah.
And the blue thing is the sea, you know.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. I always wanted to live next to the sea, so.
And then I did. I moved to Brighton. Oh god.
I have not had a bad meal here yet. Let's just say that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, can you do a trademark thing to Marina Bay Sands? Just do whatever your trademark is.
How's it going, Marina Bay Sands? My name's PewDiePie, and I enjoyed staying there.
God, what a cringe. Hey, nail that handshake though. Nail that handshake though. Whoa, Singapore was insane. Can you imagine going from my tiny little flat? This is a year before. Having like a couple thousand subscribers to this environment where people are screaming. It was insane. That was probably the most insane experiences of my life. A year later, god damn, I look handsome here. Look at this dude. Nail that handshake. Nail that handshake, Felix. Well, he damaged his hand, that's why.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Very nice to have you on the show. You.
Sorry about the Norway thing. It's you weren't supposed to know about that.
Well, we found it. You know. Thing is that we could speak Swedish, but out of politeness, we speak English.
Of course, yeah.
Varsågod.
Look at my face, be like, good. What?
And you actually live here, do you?
That's right, yeah. So I'm actually.
So I moved to the UK at that time.
What we saw here now was clips.
Excuse me, interviewer. I understand why Felix hates us Norwegians now. This interview wasn't enjoyable at all. All those questions were stupid. Really?
It's from your YouTube channel. And you must explain, please explain. You play
Pretty much, yeah. Any video game there is that is. I like the stupid, silly games that no one ever plays. I like to find these.
Yeah, that was my thing at the time.
That no one would ever play them because they're so bad. But then I'll commentate over them and make it into comedy somehow.
So what you do is that you film yourself while you're playing?
Pretty much, yeah. It's kind of a ridiculous thing. I just commentate while I play video games.
Oh, almost like he said. God, I get it. Like back in the day, no one understood what it was, and they would always ask, and I never had a good answer. I'm like, I play video games, and then I talk over them, and I don't know what else to say. Oh, we're talking about Marcia here. This might be interesting.
I just had a couple followers. One of her friends in Italy, she's from Italy. She sent an email to her with my video in it saying, look at this idiot playing video games. So apparently she liked that idiot.
Yeah, so much that she married him. Yeah.
You went not knowing her at all.
Yeah.
Just online.
Yeah. You say what you want about the interview, but I'm not really good here either. Like, I'm not giving him much to work on. Keeping my questions very simple. So, I don't know. You can tell I'm not really that good. I was much more relaxed here, which was backstage afterwards. I get really tensed up when I get nervous, and I think you can tell.
With your fans. And a good way to do that is to give them a name. That's very common. For example, I call my fans the bros. So how do you call your fans?
Well, the oldies.
The oldies.
With passion, yeah, I like
Okay,
the oldies. They've been there,
yeah,
they've
that
been there
makes
for
sense.
years. I mean,
Okay.
it's great.
That's a
I
good
love
name,
that.
I think so.
Yeah, oldies but goldies.
Tip number 2, there's a lot of technical aspect. For example, if you encourage your fans to like the video and subscribe, you have to tell them to do that. That helps.
So please like this video and subscribe.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. See, I'm much more natural. It's almost like I'm taking charge of this.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
no.
you. And good luck with your chapter.
Oh, that was close, right? Oh, I got war flashbacks just coming in out of nowhere. What that was? Why would you do that in front of me? I misunderstood a handshake.
And good luck with your channel.
Yeah,
and,
good luck with your channel too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Subscribe.
See, it's so much better. Felix is one handsome guy. Yeah, I look so much better here. They got good makeup on me, man. Look how I look like now, like a little actual meatball with pubic hair on the face. What is this, huh? God damn. Times change, man. The years have not been good on me, man. Next one I did was Stephen Colbert.
Welcome to television.
Which was so fun. I didn't know who Colbert was. So I felt like I was so much more relaxed on this one. Because it didn't feel like a big deal. People told me like, oh, Stephen Colbert, he's huge. Like, that's a big deal. But I was like, I think it worked in my favor. I never seen him so nervous and uncomfortable. Well, I guess it didn't work in my favor. What the fuck?
This is a steam-powered medium that runs on coal that your grandparents invented. Do you watch television ever?
I kind of unplugged, to be honest.
True. I've not paid any TV's license because I don't watch television.
It's just playing games.
It's YouTube. That's the thing. I'll watch this.
Well, people will be watching this on YouTube. I hope we put it on YouTube.
Yes.
You have 39 million subscribers, right? So your YouTube channel.
Only 39 million? Cringe.
It's actually a Guinness Book of World Record has the most subscribers for YouTube. That's great. You're beating everybody else like 13 million. I want to thank you for
God. Oh God, I wish I could do this now. I wish I could do it now. I feel like I've gotten so much better, you know? I want to do it again. Yeah, I used to be so much more worried and tense and nervous. I still get, but it's way different. I feel like it's way different now. Damn, he looks nice. He should start his own Minecraft series. Why am I so blonde?
Yeah, well, they'll make the network censor learn Swedish just so they can bleep it. Go ahead. I can't say it actually. Oh. That sounds.
Would you want to give it a try?
That sounds like a delicious dish. Okay, what else? What else?
That one's a little worse.
I think that was Diablo Fan. Was it?
The other one? Wow. So they're definitely the blueprint.
No, they're fine.
Really?
I wonder if I just made up a bunch of words like floppin', floppin', and they would censor it. Then everyone would censor and be like, God, we can't have them saying floppin', floppin'. Oh God.
Helvete?
Oh, that's good. Helvete they can't. That's funny. See, that's a good like comedian making observations. I got a lot to learn, man. I can sense how awkward PewDiePie is. Thank you guys. Thank you for your encouragement of me trying to be less introverted and weird in front of people. It really helps to have these sort of comments in the back of my mind next time I do a public appearance. I really appreciate that. He seems kind of uncomfortable. I think he's gotten more confident since then, which is great. I definitely have, and I'm very happy about that. It's weird. I think, ironically, the reason why I'm not on TV anymore is the reason why I'm probably would be more comfortable on TV now because of all the controversies. I think that's what helped me grow more, less self-conscious about myself, I guess. But yeah, I was on Conan as well, and it's just pure cringe because I was such a huge Conan fan. Like, look how I'm sitting. Then he's like, oh God, what is happening?
Are you nervous about playing with me? You know, like a thing usually. Yeah, I've seen you play. You're pretty awful. I'm terrible. I can't get one play.
Alright, it's a little better. I love how defensive you guys are about me in the comments. PewDiePie cringing so hard at the first-person shooter games.
Hey, first shooter games, I can't get my character to lift his head to see where he's going. Yeah. I literally can't. I have trouble, and then I...
Cringe. Alright, that's about as much as I can stomach. That's as much as I can take. I gotta say, YouTube has given me such a weird, unique experience of growing as a person that no other environment in the world, I think, would have made me. So I'm very thankful for doing all these things that I was terrified of doing as an introvert, especially. It was, I was dying inside. Anytime you feel like you don't want to do something and you go through with it, at least me, I always feel like it was always worth it. And it's good to remind yourself of that, and you'll grow as a person for it, because next time you'll have that experience in the back. Push yourself in life, because it will always be worth it. If I had to force in a little message at the end there, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you guys Simp merch tomorrow. Hado.
Children of 9 parts, it's time to raise what was once forgotten. What creatures, fart spells, and poop troops await? Poop D is coming to Nintendo Switch. And remember, it has a very big PP. Pre-order promotion, I mean.
How's it going, bros? My name is... Last week we looked at, what was it? A couples guru person reacting to me. Now I was recommended this video of a public speaker reacting to me, and now I will react to them. PewDiePie! Let's go.
My name is David J.P. Phillips. I'm a public...
God damn it. I've been doing it all wrong. You know this guy's a public speaker because he knows you need to do something right away to grab interest. Mr. Beast is really good at this. What's up, guys?
This is Emo Sixpence.
This is what I need to do, apparently. Just call out something. This is the biggest tambourine this world has ever seen. I'm trying to grow this tambourine to the moon from my pee-pee. Keep watching this video. All right, sorry, public speaker, man. Continue.
Public speaker, and I am here.
Am I detecting a little bit of a Swedish accent on this fellow man? I think yes, sir.
to give you loads of ideas, advice, and knowledge on how to become an even better presenter and public speaker. And we are learning from the best. It is the absolute hero.
The best? It can't be me. Mr. Bisson, please.
The king of internet.
PewDiePie.
We've got to
that was
ask
pretty
ourselves
good.
this question. Why is PewDiePie the king? Why is PewDiePie the best? Why is he the legend? Why has he got so many more views than anybody else? He's not driving around in Lamborghini. He's not throwing money at people. He's just him. It's just...
To be fair, I don't throw money at people. I could do it.
him.
I guess
and
so. That's
Jim
a good point.
Ratner. It's
Plastic,
been
steel,
like that for
copper.
10
I could do
years.
that.
I want to have a look at his first video and
No!
then have a look at the
No!
Is he still the same guy? So this is going to be exciting. This is his first video.
What is that? It's so weird. I remember shooting that video even. I have a distinct memory of it. I don't like it.
PewDiePie here.
Have you heard that one before?
Started off with it, kept it going, baby.
Keeps doing that. He's been doing that for 10 years. He's changing his voice, modulating it to a higher register, being that kind of playful guy.
I usually take a break from all electronics or whatever, just because the internet here is so...
Oh, did you see that beautiful double shoulder shrug?
He's so analytical. I love it. This is what I expected from the public speaker. Well, no, public speaker, dating guy. Like, he didn't analyze anything, it felt like. No one appreciates my double shrug shoulder that I did that 10 years ago, and I was like, no one paid attention to it. The hell, man.
That is a very, very unusual thing that public speakers and presenters do. And usually when they're synchronized, that is associated to being truthful in what you're saying. Sometimes.
Really? That's so interesting. I had no idea. Guess I am truthful.
One shoulder shrug can be associated to not being entirely truthful or honest about what you're saying. But obviously he is. Double shoulder shrug of PewDiePie. Oh, God.
Yes, it's okay.
Oh! The PewDiePie self-laughter. Did you hear it? It's been going on for 10 years. He's still doing it. I can promise you. We're going to have a look at the new video in just a moment.
Let's make me uncomfortable.
The beautiful thing with a self-laughter like that is that it increases anticipation of what's going to come. And you think...
So that's what I've been doing. He makes it seem so deliberate. I don't know.
That whatever is going to come is more fun. So he is actually planting fun into your brain, whether you want it.
That makes sense, actually.
I got a job, support captain.
He's got a job.
So you can call me Captain Pewdie.
That is
what do I do now? I did a little fake pipe. That's right, genius. This guy, oh my god, I feel so flattered, embarrassed, and epic at the same time.
Generic prop. And what's interesting in that is that this is him. This is 10 years ago. He is not public speaker, he's not a presenter, but even the professional ones, they haven't got to this level where they're using imaginary props. Maybe they're using props like this, they're showing something on stage, but using imaginary props is not in their repertoire. Add that to your repertoire, it will really enhance your public speaking.
You can learn from me 10 years ago public speakers. To be fair, like, I don't know if he's just buttering me up here, so now I'm like, yeah, well, actually. But I do think that in the school I went to, they really hammered in on public speaking a lot. So I do think that helped a little bit, even though I look back at this and I'm like, dude, this is so terrible.
Using roleplay as well. He's gotten better at this, I think, but using different voices can help.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
There. I'm going to go there. He's going to go there. And I'm going to go there. Whenever you're in a public speaking situation, use roleplay like this with different kind of voices on stage. Oh, it's amazing. Again, it's a high-level public speaking skill. Using gestures.
High-level stage!
What?
Expressions.
Okay, let's have a look at the filler sound thing. Why is he doing it? It could be up to two reasons. I believe that he's not aware of that he's doing it. The cool thing with filler sounds is that if they are functional, i.e. you want to, for some reason, make it crystal clear that you're coming to a point or that you want to signal that you're nervous, you want to signal that you're uncertain, you want to signal that you are super present, then you can add a filler sound functionally for that. In all other circumstances, just kill them, eradicate them.
Yeah, I agree. I find myself to want to editing out the sounds a lot of times because it is annoying. But it's interesting how he points out that they actually do have a point. They can have a point, which is kind of, yeah, I never thought of that.
In your head.
It's interesting. Why does a man have a towel in the background? Huh? Is that some public speaking trick? What the? It's got this very deliberate background and a towel. oh, that's a public speaker thing, isn't it? He'll come out and be like, oh, at the end of the video, I bet you wonder why I have a towel here. Well, you see. Now I'm curious if that's gonna happen.
In your head. Look at this. As soon as he says, I'll be missing you, or he talks to us in one way or another, he tilts his head just slightly, a couple of degrees to the left. We tend to do that when we want to show empathy or something. If your rabbit died, I'll go, oh.
It's so funny. I would never have thought of that. He makes you seem so smart for doing it when it's just a natural human thing. But he's like, look what he's doing. This is so great.
That's too sad. Why I want to point this out is because this guy is synchronized. What I mean by that is that there are 5 levels of synchronicity in your communication. Number 1, gestures. Number 2, body language. Number 3, voice. Number 4, language. And number 5, facial expressions. If you are...
Wait, I don't remember a single one. What was he talking about?
All 5, when saying something, it increases the credibility of whatever you're saying. This guy is... It's just a natural when it comes to communication. The question is he still the same PewDiePie then as he's now?
Yes! Oh, God. Go back to 10 years ago, please.
Oh! Welcome, everyone, to Floor Gang. Flogen, 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 flogen.
Is language change again? Ooh,
True.
After 9 seconds, is doing exactly one thing the same as it did previously in 10 years ago.
It was accident.
Just 10 times more obnoxious. You're welcome.
People are like, oh, there's a conspiracy. He's doing it to promote Black Ops. No, I'm just an idiot, okay? Every conspiracy around me can be summarized. I'm an idiot. Like, I was gonna privately... Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What did I do? I did the double shoulder! Yeah. Damn, he's good.
Again, 10 years later, I bet we're gonna hear a register pitch up as well.
Coots is back on the line, so I'm posting my setup. God damn! Dude, that's...
What?
Get out of my head!
Did you hear that register increase? This is PewDiePie for us. The question then, does he still have that synchronicity going?
Damn! Dude, that's cooler than my setup. That's not fair.
This is freaking brilliant. You know that he's 3 times displayed a sense of underdog or displayed a sense of weakness. He did it now. That's better than my setup. Yes, that...
It is better than my setup!
And all conspiracy theories around me, I am an idiot, admitting or showing weakness.
Because I'm a beta. I can't help it. Look, guys, he's deliberately pretending he's an absolute loser. Yes, of course, deliberately.
Increases the level of serotonin in the other person. They connect with you in a different way.
That's right. You're welcome for the serotonin, guys. I'm so bad. Do you feel the serotonin just surging through your veins? I don't know where serotonin is. Is it in your brain? It's in your brain. You feel it in your brain.
Laying yourself out there, showing that you are so much human that you can admit your weaknesses like that, that really connects us to him. Even that's part of his magic spice, magic formula.
We're a peaceful religion. Everyone will join, and anyone that doesn't will die. Okay? I'm not threatening, but subscribe, bell notification. Come on, 11%.
Boom, boom. Did you remember the
Hey, yeah, I do remember.
This is again imaginary props.
That's my reaction.
There is a skill called full out. Just playing it full out. Obviously, spitting on yourself would be defined as a full out skill.
I feel like, yeah.
Damn! First aid kit, you're welcome. Saves life.
This is so beautiful. Do you remember the video that he recorded 10 years ago? He had about 20 to 25 filler sounds. I would guess that loads of those were not consciously put there. He is so much more skilled. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's like he's gone through presentation skills and communication skills coach. Because there are...
It's almost like I've been doing it every single day. I think he's on point with the sounds. That's something I found very annoying and deliberately trying to get out of. I probably still do it a ton though, and Sive cuts it out basically.
Very few instances when you can add a filler sound. This is an example of those. So look at this. He's using them.
It's life. The wrench, you're welcome. Saves life.
Oh, that's true.
Just by effect. Just by effect. And they're perfectly placed there. I think we've nailed it, guys. I think we've nailed it. Why
you nailed it.
PewDiePie such an absolute success? One, he is super humble. In more than 5 different ways did he show weaknesses during this 4-minute analysis of this video. Number...
You're welcome for the serotonin, guys.
2, he's got his radio to changes. Number 3, he's got all the variation, spicing as I call it, which he uses himself. He's not just using visual effects and sound effects, he's using himself with different spicing of words, changing language, changing voice. He doesn't need anything more than a camera, microphone, some video editing, and he's got 100.
Yeah, that's right. Props to Sive as well, guys.
And I can just say this. I have been doing public speaking for so long, for 20 years. I have still got so much to learn from.
No way!
This is an entirely new arena for me as well, doing reaction videos like this. I hope you like them. I hope you love them. But I've got loads to learn from him, and I am here to learn it because I want to become as excellent as this dude is at this profession and career. Wow. Thumbs up to you, mate.
No, you're so nice. Oh, wow.
Or terrible at whatever
Wait, there's more.
and ask me why that person is so absolutely excellent or terrible at what they're doing. I would prefer excellent because I love learning from great excellent.
Shout out. That was such a good video. And not like, even if it didn't butter me up, I still thought that was really interesting. Actually hearing a pro and noticing these things and pointing them out. That was so cool. Check out David JP Phillips. Super fun. I was thinking maybe I should do a video reacting to my own public speakings that I've actually done. I've done a few throughout the years. That might be fun as well. Do that next time. I don't know. That's it for me for now. See you next time. Bye-bye. Subscribe. We're trying to reach 107 million subscribers. Tambourine will grow by each subscriber. So do it now. Brofist. Metaphysical brofist. Without any sort of prop. Just imagine me do.
So I'm, covering these stories. I see it happening in real time, and then I see the mainstream media does not reflect reality.
No, not at all.
I actually had the news company I worked for tell me, side with the audience. And I said, who's the audience? Young progressives.
So you were working for Fusion?
Yep.
Okay, here's another smaller moment. I was pitching a TV show, an SJW comedy show in 2015 at that network.
To Fusion.
Yes.
I was there.
And on the whiteboard, I walked in, and I remember, it may have been 2014. It was before I started leaving the cult, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and I was so excited that because their whiteboard was all social justice. It basically, I'd walked into a critical race theory class in college.
It had to be 2015.
Probably 2015. Yeah.
Because when they pitched me, so for those that aren't familiar, this is an ABC News Univision joint venture. When they pitched me, they said, we want to be like Vice. And they had big posters on the walls that said, we will not be partisan, we will be, different, we will be honest. And then something happened about 7 months in where a switch got flicked. And they replaced the editor-in-chief, brought on an SJW, who all of a sudden was like, I kid you not, they brought on a guy, and I think his persona was totally fake. I think it was money opportunity, because this guy, one day, overnight, changed his Twitter banner to "Down with Whiteness."
Oh, I believe that.
And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, dude, like, how can you do that? That's racist. So they actually had an event where they were going to be interviewing presidential politicians, and they told me I was too white to be involved. I kid you not. And I'm like, I told the president, I was like, well, you know that I'm second generation mixed race, right? I was like, I think I totally fits. It's a good narrative. He goes, nah, I'm sorry, man. Like, dude, they're super racist. It's in the contract. You look too white, dude. I was like, are you kidding me? And I actually contemplated a lawsuit. No joke.
Yeah, you should, because that's
but I'm not
racist.
It's beyond. It's a violation of civil rights law.
Yeah.
I was told straight up by the president I was too white to be involved in this presidential forum.
That's amazing.
No kidding. And I said, I'm literally like a product of civil rights law. Like my family experienced this. No matter the way you look. And that's one of the things that's really, really triggered me about the SJW left and their ideology specifically. Like when the ACLU, for instance, says that it's okay to discriminate based on race at these universities, particularly against Asians. What regular people don't realize is that when they say Asian, they mean Indians, Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, Vietnamese, Laotian, Filipino, Malaysian, Singapore. All of these countries, which are vastly different levels of wealth, vastly different countries, different cultures, different religions, they say it's one thing. And so what happens is they're quite literally saying to, here's what I tell these SJWs. If you agree, and even my friends who are like very progressive, if you agree with that policy of affirmative action, then when it comes time, I want you to look into the eyes of that child, that Asian child, and say, I'm sorry, honey, you don't get to go to the Ivy League because you look too much like that person. Yeah. And that's the only reason. No matter how hard they work, they look wrong. So then what? Are we going to get people who are just going to get crazy cosmetic surgeries to try and change their appearance to pretend they're not really, a certain race? To me, that's just, it's all been absolutely despicable. So, I wouldn't...
Look at the way they picked their VP candidate. Okay, so
totally.
We've known for a long time that there are, again, slow learning here. It took me a while. But some of you have known for a long time that they are racist and sexist. But now they're openly telling us. Like, we knew that Joe Biden was going to pick, or whoever is behind Joe Biden was going to pick someone who is a woman of color. But he came out and told us that. He's honest about it. And I heard somebody saying, and forgive me, I forget who it was, but somebody was talking about, can you imagine if the CEO of your company said, we're going to be hiring a second in command here I don't know who it's going to be. Send in your resumes, but it will be a woman of color. And
They
what?
do this.
You're just not going to look at resumes from anyone else? Are you kidding me?
And that's to me is insane.
Yeah.
You know, look, I recognize.
Well, can I say one more thing
Oh,
about
yeah,
that?
of course.
It's so offensive and it's so condescending and towards women and towards people of color because, look, if I get a job, I don't want to be denied anything because of my sex, and I don't want to be given it because of my sex. And if I was Kamala Harris, I'd be like, screw you. You just told everyone you're not picking. You didn't pick me from among the best people. You basically said, I'm picking from this small demographic, and you're the best in that demographic. Screw you, Joe Biden.
Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
If I'm willing to bet, especially considering they're Democrats, and again, I am not trying to give a free pass to Republicans. They just don't do anything right now, and they're not really, I don't know. Here's the point. If somebody, Joe Biden walks up to Kamala and he goes, look, listen here, fat, we're going to make you the VP, and you're not going to win, and it has nothing to do with your qualifications. Actually, I think you're awful, but you'll be rich afterwards, and that's it. She's gonna write a book. First, black Indian, vice president candidate, the hurdles she faced, joining. She's now, I believe, the third woman to be on a VP as a ticket. She's gonna write a book afterwards. She's gonna do a book tour, and she's gonna get paid. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, but what an empty life. I mean, I'm not just her. I'm just saying so many people in general. Why are you living a life for what are you living for?
I agree.
Just a book and some money and
Power.
what do you stand for? Nothing.
I've met people like this, and this was maybe about 10 years ago. I had this local real estate developer in Chicago trying to use me because I was a young hip skateboarder, and he wanted to have some kind of inroad with a community of young people to convince them of it was very much like an 80s movie plot line. Wanted to develop a bunch of condos and gentrify the neighborhood, but he needed the kids on his side.
I think I've seen this movie.
Right. He invited me to a party, and it was a bunch of Illinois Democrat politicians, and they all basically said the same thing. One of two things. Somebody's got to work at McDonald's, right? The idea generally just let poor people be poor, don't worry about their wages, and someone's going to do it, so so be it. It was a very, elitist and defeatist kind of idea. But the other one was they told me, stop worrying about any of this and just get rich. And I was like, the conversations we were having was like making the community better, improving things, helping people strive to become better, to reach new heights, not just to be a burger flipper, but to be the manager of McDonald's. And I had this guy look at me and he shook his head and he goes, just get the money and get out. That was the attitude they all had.
Wow.
And it was
so
like on a
empty.
rooftop party, everyone's drinking fancy stuff. And I'm like, some guy came in and asked me if I wanted to go hang out and schmooze and have drinks. And I was like in my early 20s and I'm like, I'm down. And it was like not my jam. And that's why I'm like relatively reclusive in that sense. I like to do my thing. I don't have a tribe. After I felt betrayed by Obama. He was talking about removing troops in the Middle East. The whole war was wrong. It was mistakes. It was fake news that got us involved. And then Obama, what does he do? The first thing he does, one of the first things, is a drone strike on a small village, killing women and children. And so I was like, that was like someone stabbed me in the heart emotionally, because I felt like I'm the one who helped him do it. These horrible things that are being done overseas. And he looked me in the eye and says, don't worry, we're going to end this. And I was like, okay, here's my support. And then he laughed, and then he dropped the bomb. And I was just like, I was mad. And that cut me off. I was like, I don't care about this. I don't care about these people. I don't believe any of this stuff. Everybody's lying, and I'm over it. And then I saw the bad stuff Obama was doing,
So you paid attention, though. I was the kind who didn't. So when Bush was president, I went to every anti-war march. I knew the media was lying. I watched them sell the lie, CNN. That was when I first learned media. It's like Orwell, Ministry of Truth. But I paid attention because I hated Bush so much. And then when Obama won, I didn't pay attention anymore.
Yep.
I wasn't one of those people who saw that he didn't. In fact, I voted for him twice.
And this, I totally get it. I see this. All of these people right now are waking up to the things that, I'm doing air quotes here, Trump is doing. Or I should say Trump is, air quote, doing. But they put the quotes around the word doing because Obama started some of these things.
Yes.
The kids in cages.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's who do you think built them? I lived down there. I lived relatively close to Homestead in Miami, where they were having these detention centers. And this was under Obama, not under Trump. And it was just a thing that was there. But now it's Trump. And so I would ask my friends, my progressive friends, they're still to this day, some of them got so bad, it's kind of scary. It feels like they've become possessed.
Yes, I use that word a lot. Actually, I think I heard Jordan Peterson using that word, and it made sense to me. I think people can become possessed by emotion or possessed by ideology. When there's something animating them and they're not thinking critically anymore. And it's almost like, well, when Peterson talks about Carl Jung and saying that, people don't have ideas, ideas have people. But I absolutely believe that when it comes to ideology. I think of ideology as a living, breathing thing. So when I call my old belief system a cult, people say, "Oh, well, it doesn't fit all the cult characteristics. It fits most of them. It does not have a charismatic leader. I give you that." But that's because I view it as this living thing. It's almost like a school of fish.
It's a
religion.
religion.
It moves together. It's a religion. And there's not like one figurehead at the front of it. There's a lot of different high priests of the movement, if you will, like Robin DiAngelo.
Totally. She's an avowed racist.
Yeah, she admits it.
Yeah, she says. So when did the left start taking their cues from overt racists? And why should so? When I say my friends are possessed, I have a friend who I consider to be a good friend, and she's just, in my opinion, gone. It's almost impossible to even talk to her anymore. I see the things she posts online. It's all conspiracy theories, posting photos of mailboxes in like dumpsters, and I'm like, what happened? That's not real life. And when I try and send a message like, hey, just so you know, like that mailbox thing, here's an article. And the response is, I have no idea what you're talking about. This is crazy. How could you support Trump? And I'm like, I just said the mailbox thing wasn't true. Calm down. But it's almost like there's no, it's a religion.
It's a religion, and also I was talking about this with Lydia earlier. Yeah. We were both saying I don't think a lot of the people who get possessed by it, I don't think they have good historical context, so they don't actually know what it is that they're preaching. They think these are original ideas. They think social justice is this new progressive thing. No. It has roots, very old roots in Marxism, and we know what happens when this ideology plays out. We know where it goes. They don't have that. And they also have, like you're talking about, she's living in a different world. She's posting these crazy conspiracy theories. Have they read any Orwell recently? I'm not talking about in childhood. Like, read 1984 now.
Yeah.
They read, yeah.
Like, now they're saying 2 + 2 is 5.
Yeah,
It was literally not identical. It's not the exact same, but it's similar. It's 1984.
Yeah.
At the party would tell you that 2 + 2 is 5, and you had to believe it. You had to. And the scary thing was maybe it was true. This was one of the passages. They're literally now arguing 2 + 2 = 5.
Yeah.
Like they're arguing circumstances in which it can. I understand the general argument they're trying to put forward that it's important to try and expand your view and your perception of reality, but it's very common. This tactic is just meant to confuse and break down systems so that you can't control them anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's meant to confuse. That's a great way of putting it. Orwell talked about how, and I'm going to mangle the quote, but basically how people use superfluous language to try and hide the fact that they're not really saying anything. He says it's like they're squirting out ink like a cuttlefish. And there are a lot of these so-called pseudo-intellectuals who they bank on the fact that they're hoping that you'll think, well, I guess I'm not smart enough to get this.
Do you remember there was a debate with Michael Eric Dyson
and Jordan Peterson?
Yes. Do you remember all the things that he said?
Yes.
And none of it meant anything.
You just hit the nail on the head, and that's when Michael Eric Dyson went on my worst people in the world list.
I went to the library and I found one of his books, and I was like, the title of the book was like Speaking Clearly, and I was like, this is complete misnomer. This is wrong. This is complete wrong advertising.
But that's perfectly named because that's what they do. Look, they call it Antifa, anti-fascist. Exactly. Oh, I guess it's against fascism, huh?
Sure, yeah, that's all it means.
It works on low engagement and low. What's the right word I'm trying to say? I don't want to say stupid because smart people get roped up in this stuff too.
Low information.
Low information, like low inquisitivity.
Right.
They're not curious.
Anti-curious.
So you hear about a group called the anti-fascists, and they immediately are like, oh. And then they're going around beating random people and old ladies, and it's just like...
They're behaving like fascists, guys.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah.
Well, and I always try to make the distinction, too, because invariably Antifa starts screeching, they did it, they claim. I had a guy in New York at a protest yell at me. I was covering this protest, and they was like, you claimed Antifa was fascist. And I was like, no, I didn't. I would never do that. Antifa is progressive. They're not traditionalist. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, so don't put that on me. No, you're authoritarian extremists. And then they're like, oh, hey, wait a minute.
I say you behave like a fascist. It doesn't mean...
Right. No, I'm not putting it on you. I'm putting it like on these guys. It's like, I have no problem letting them have that one. When they're like, we're not fascists, you are correct. You're authoritarian communist extremists.
Yes.
And then they're like, well...
Maybe.
You know, as long as you're not calling us a fascist. No, you're
yeah, names are everything, man.
Yeah.
Well, they do the same thing with now. I'm sure you've seen it. The thing they're pushing now is this word anti-racism. They say it's not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist.
Actively anti-racist.
Well, what does anti-racist mean? It means racist. And look at what they mean when they say anti-racist. They mean you must treat people differently and judge them on the basis of race. Okay, what is that? That's racism, guys. Like
it's this is how they do it.
Yeah.
You know, Black Lives Matter. Well, who could disagree with that?
Yes.
Like any good liberal or conservative, any American. I mean, you could go back to the civil rights era and find that a small proportion of people would be willing to publicly say they didn't. They would they try to be politically correct and say, well, you know, separate but equal, right? Even back then, they were careful about questioning the value of life, particularly religious people. Today, we've progressed so far beyond the racist past. Mind you, a lot of it was from the Democrats, the Klan, Jim Crow, and all that stuff. And I look back in the past and I say, you know what? We did a really good job of getting rid of all these really awful things. Today, we all agree, like life in general, and it matters, and I understand what they mean when they say it. But then when they go around smashing, burning, beating people, and it's mostly white people doing it, I'm like, you see, now you're just using that so that if we question you, we get attacked.
Yeah.
The media finds an easy path. So when I mention, like, my friend is possessed, they don't read the news. They get their news from memes, like Occupy Democrats and other just, you know, garbage meme factories on Facebook. And so when I send them something, they like send me a meme, and I say, this is a cartoon of like a giraffe eating a pine cone. I have no idea what this means, you know? And I'm like, here's an article from the New York Times, and then they're like, here's a picture of a, you know.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but that's true. Usually I respond on Twitter, I'm like, oh, are we in the meme portion of the argument already?
Yes.
Seriously, we jump fast to the end.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode. But we actually have a very, very serious story to open with. I'm reticent to even get into this. This is dark stuff. All right.
I have no idea what that means. But thank you to that, Mochi. Where you guys going with my bullets?